Well, hello everyone and good day. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I am Derman, and this is the Crystal Tower, which we're going to be wrapping up today. And doesn't it look nice? I guess technically we're headed into the world of darkness. We're done with the tower itself, but you know what I mean. Close enough. It's all part of the same series is the point, and doesn't my armor continue to look dashing? Thank you, I'm glad you agree. Alright, here we go. Rumbers has a furrowed brow and the look of one with ill tidings. Hello everyone, how's it going? Things going well?
Ah, Derman, it is good you are come. I have news you must be made aware of. Alas, none of it bodes well for us, nor Une, Doga, and Nero imprisoned in the Dark Realm.
Think back upon our last foray into Circus Tower, if you will. The calamity stirred the place from its long slumber and awoke Emperor Xande, but you, Derman, you ensured he was laid to rest permanently. Yet the Emperor had sealed a binding covenant with the terrible void sense known as the Cloud of Darkness. Even as Doga and Une labored to annul this contract, the entity reached through a rift and dragged the pair of them, and Nero, out of our realm.
Since that day, Noah has devoted itself to rescuing Une, Doga, and Nero from beyond the rift. Our research, however, has exposed a far more dire problem. The Crystal Tower still acts upon Emperor Xande's orders, and collects energy to open another void gate even as we speak. Indeed, the place nigh hums with energy. We've done all we can to stop the Imperial Edict, but to no avail. Just as the gate would open only for Une and Doga, so too would the tower heed only those with the royal blood of Alec.
'Tis a most galling design. Granted, this was not always so vexatious, according to the Allegan tombstone Nero presented us. During the Golden Age of Alec, the royalty had some means of bestowing their blood upon others. If they hadn't such a technology, Amon and his underlings could never have controlled the Crystal Tower.
But we do not have either this art or any with royal blood. Every moment we wait, a vast rift through which the Cloud of Darkness can enter our realm threatens to open. Such a disaster cannot be allowed to come to pass. We must seal the Crystal Tower and annul Xande's covenant with the Dark Realm. If only breaking the latter would suffice. But then what of the energy building in the Crystal Tower? Without suppression, that power could discharge and cause a calamity like to the one that destroyed Alec. In truth, we have more than just 3 lost compatriots to worry about. If we do not act, our very world will fall before the might of this threat.
Ain't that always the way? We know but one way out of this predicament. Rescue those who can control the tower from beyond the Dark Realm, and seal the rift shut after them. And mercifully, not all our news is quite so bleak. 'Tis true we cannot stop the void scent from manifesting within the tower, but this can be to our benefit. We can use Circus's power for our own purposes, and create a portal to carry us into the Dark Realm. Finally, good news.
We have heard this is possible from a man of the Thaumaturge's Guild well versed in otherworldly matters, and with Master Garland working to create said portal, the final preparations are well underway. Ah, and here comes the man himself.
I said, Derman, just the man we need.
Yes, our fellowship is indeed complete, and all parties privy to our strategy. And you, Master Garland, how fare your endeavors?
Quite well. The device is nearly ready, though attaching the damnable thing to Circus Tower took every ounce of ingenuity the Ironworks has got. But it should produce the energy we need. With just a little more fine-tuning, we can open a rift. I'm here to request your presence at the tower. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge at the 8 Sentinels as guides. And do hurry, Derman. I'm sure you wouldn't miss another chance to save the world, would you? Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. Well, Cid certainly seems to have a firm hand on the helm. Shall we make our way to the Crystal Tower? Let's do. Sounds like we don't have a lot of time for screwing around. Let's get over there. Via my absolute favorite method of transportation. Here we are. Hey, fellas. Has the chief filled you in on the plan, Derman? Opening up that void gate will be a real feat for the ironworks. But I'm worried about what comes afterwards. I've never heard of anyone going through a rift, let alone coming back. I don't relish the idea of getting stuck here ourselves, or there, you know. I can read. Derman, I'll bet you're here to watch us pry open a rift between worlds, huh? We're almost ready. Circus Tower's full of engineers scurrying around and making adjustments. We're dealing with a lot of power, and if a single coupling's off, well, boom. But it should be fine, really. Anyway, you best wait at the top. The chief's there overseeing the whole operation. Y'all keeping busy in here? My friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal, then we'll see if we can't open a gateway to another world. Is there something amiss, Garaha? Ah, Emperor Zande's throne. How the mighty have fallen, huh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alleg's art and power. Now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if Allegan civilization had lived on, and a just emperor still sat on that throne. How different would our history be? How much further would we have advanced? Unfortunately, there was no stopping Zande and his ambition. There were those who tried. Zande's War of Dominion left no one unscathed. Unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people, warriors young and brave took up the sword against Alleg. These men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened the destruction. Just as they moved towards Alleg's heart for the kill, Zande leashed out in anger and frustration, as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Zande desired that a great rift be opened to hasten the cloud of darkness's coming. To this end, he commanded the sun's power held within Dalamud be emptied into Circus Tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with energy. Circus was swallowed by the very earth upon which it stood. The fourth umbral calamity. I'd learned of its cause from Une and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Zande to rashness, though. Your knowledge of Allegan history is astounding, Garaha. Why, a man could study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap. 'Tis strange, though. I cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Yes? Ah, Biggs, are you ready? Ready and raring to open that void gate, Chief. We reckon when this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float 5 airships the size of the Agrius. So just give us the word, and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good. Then let's get started. Our preparations are complete. Everyone, step away from the throne. All right, let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs! Ah, a rift to the world of darkness, as Une called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. We can't break out the mead just yet. The tough part's still ahead. We've broken into the Dark Realm, but the gate's not all that stable. It won't stay open forever, and only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the Void Gate stays open. As will the Sons of Saint Quenoc. This rift is our sole path to salvation. If it closes, we are all truly lost. Which leaves Dermon. My friend, 'tis a heavy burden I must task you with, but there are none more able. Pray lead the adventurers beyond the rift. I do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades. But you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. I am used to it. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Might I have a moment of your time, Dermon? There's a matter of import we must needs discuss ere you leave. Oh, you don't want to just talk about... Okay. But... Okay. We could have talked here. I don't think the Void's listening. Oh. Well, this works too. I fully understand wanting to talk with some good scenery. Dermon, I wish to speak to you about my eye. As you're no doubt aware, 'tis a trait seen only amongst Allagan royalty. Long I have pondered why such is my inheritance. The sanguine hue must have some bearing upon my destiny. This much Doga himself admitted, but what? In truth, the more I learn of the Crystal Tower, the less I am myself. Somehow, meeting those 2 clones has wrought great change in me. I'm consumed with remembering something ancient, but ever so important. And my father's words echo in my mind, the self-same ones his father told him. The truth of our eye rests with Alec. Mayhap what I wish to remember and these words are related, mayhap not, but I know I must learn the truth that history hides from me. I would see this journey, our journey, through to the very end with mine own 2 eyes. So I implore you, allow me to join you beyond the rift. Okay. You have my thanks, my friend. Now let us venture into the world of darkness to save our comrades and our realm. All right. Time for the 3rd and final raid of the Crystal Tower series. Are you ready? I'm not. I need 23 other people. Just give me a minute. All right, and once again, we have ever so many people here to join for a very, very fast World of Darkness run. Should be a good old time. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you in there. And here we are. Welcome to the World of Darkness, everyone. It's very cool looking. And, as with the previous 2 days, most any enemy or boss that stands in our way is going to melt very fast. Once again, I must stress, there's normally a fair amount of coordination and strategy and whatnot involved in this. Just not today. Today we see story and lots of good fashion. Starting with these Garms. And they're gone. Oh, hey. Also a dragon, also gone. Anyone else? Oh, yeah. Sacrifice ninjas and kunoichi. You know, it's fun not having to worry about, like, damage or anything. I could just take it all in. That's nice. Oop. Falling behind. These wormhole generators and things like that, by the way, they're just little teleporters so that if people die or, like, wipe on the boss and want to get back in to try it again, they can warp right here instead of having to run a long way. Welcome to the first boss, though. Angra Mainyu. which has a cool look and some very cool mechanics. I spy with my giant eye, pray for the hunting. It is dead. So normally it'll cast a cool spell that would split the floor kind of in like a light and a dark half. Whichever half you're in, you'll get a debuff. You want to alternate those back and forth, which ones you get, because if you stack too many of the same one in a row, you'll just die. Also, it will kind of cast this weird, don't even know how to describe it, but just sort of like a ability that like highlights the 4 quadrants of the floor in rotation, kind of spinning around, and eventually, whichever one it lands on, if you're standing in it, you die. And then there's a bunch of other mechanics, like it's got that kind of like eyeball thing where you need to face your character away or else you'll be petrified or hurt or dead or some other sort of thing. Oh hey, Queen Scylla's back in sort of like Negaverse form. Good to see you again. Later. Oh, this isn't even a full boss. Okay, this is just mini bosses along the way. And there they are. No, wait, there's more. Zonde's clone. Oh, bye. There's something very comical about this. If it is any comfort, if watching these goes super fast has been disappointing, because I know this is very unlike how these are intended to be experienced normally, take heart. The further we get into this game, the more difficult these raids will be, whether we're synced or not. 5-headed dragon, here we go. It has many elemental abilities and problems that it will throw at you, and things that can kill you instantly, assuming it lives, which it hasn't. Moving on. I swear this is going faster every time. Great views, though, yeah? Look at that thing. It's awesome. Okay, so we're coming up on a boss soon who is has probably like the most fun mechanics in the Crystal Tower raid-wise, just in terms of entertainment. Also, there's this, which is going to be kind of similar to the last time we fought things like this. Remember these guys? Where folks need to be standing on platforms and they all need to be defeated? Kind of similar. But the boss we're building up toward is sort of a Cerberus-looking thing. About halfway through the fight, once you get there, that dog-type thing will vomit some purple goo-type thing on the floor, which if you stand in it, it will shrink you. I believe that's how it goes. There's something that, there's some ability that will shrink you if you stand in it. And there's another thing that if you stand in it, the dog will come try to bite you. If you stand in the small thing, like one group needs to become small and then stand in the place where the dog is going to eat so that they can go inside the boss's stomach and attack it from within. I'll show footage from my other character when I did this just to show you kind of what it looks like. It's very cool. Another party in the Alliance needs to be responsible for getting this Cerberus thing chained back up to the wall back there. There's a lot of coordination and it's all very cool. We ain't gonna be seeing any of it today. Bye, Cerberus. Great music, though, right? Like, you can't deny. Great tunes. Anyway. By the way, like, I know all of this has been a big treat for the Final Fantasy III fans. But the final boss especially is probably going to look very familiar indeed. Great arena as well. Familiar music also. Who disturbs the gloom? Ah, mortals from the realm of light. You've not stumbled here without purpose. I am the cloud of darkness. What I do not smother, I devour. What I cannot devour, I destroy. The covenant is everlasting. All mortals before the flood of darkness will sink lifeless into the void. Say hello to the final boss of Final Fantasy III. So big and extremely cool looking. Quite the upgrade from the old NES graphics, yeah? All right, get hyped, everyone. We're doing it. Let's go. enjoy the music for as long as it lasts. You probably want to stand over to the side here because there will be very big beams that blast. You know, there's going to be a lot of mechanics we just won't see. Bye! Good job, squad! We did it! In record time. Hooray. I love that little cheer. At the end of big fate of the world conflicts. It's very cute. As ever, a lovely team. A huge thank you to all of the Dantalis folk for making time today and so eagerly joining in these good times, fighting big bosses faster than usual. Thank you all for making this playthrough so much more entertaining and convenient a lot of the time. You're all lovely. And boy, what an arena. Just such a cool space. Anyway, I'm gonna get outside and tell all the folks the good news. Also, I guess we should save some people. Where in the seven hells are they? Without them to stem the energy in the tower, our defeat of the cloud aids our cause little. Doga! Une! Can you hear me? Nero? Must you be so infernally loud? Are you so keen to attract more void scent? Doing all right there? Though I don't blame you for missing my company. Thank the 12. Are you all right? As all right as can be expected. Une has simply passed out. Nero, by the gods, what's happened to you? Alas, his wounds were too deep, and allowed this foul place entry to his body. Now the darkness claws at the ether of his very form. Would that we could have protected him. The cloud of darkness was bound by Xande's unholy covenant to bring prosperity to Allegan royalty. The same blood that sealed this contract gives us a measure of protection. I say a measure, for this vow does not protect us from other void scent. The cloud imprisoned us here precisely to unleash fiends upon us. We would be dead had Nero not defended us so valiantly. Mistake not my actions for kindness. I have use for you yet in Eorzea, and simply couldn't let harm befall you here. Where? Une, you're safe. Our friends have come for us. Have they? Then perhaps, Doga, there's yet hope we may fulfill our purpose. Mortals, you have dared to challenge me, and now must feel my wrath. Did you think to destroy me in my realm? Here, I am eternal. I will smother your light and entomb your bones amongst my shadows. Are we truly so powerless here? As long as we fight the cloud in this realm, I fear so. And yet, though we may not be able to destroy it, this may be our chance to stop it. If we strike now whilst the cloud can barely hold her form, mayhap we can sever Xande's covenant. Yes, and raise the bridge between the Crystal Tower and this foul place once and for all. Derman, Graha, you must flee. You and Doga mean to stay here? 'Tis madness. You must return with us. No one but you can save the world from the threat of the Crystal Tower. What is this trickery? Your blood. You too gain protection from Xande's blood. Garahatia, you are possessed of royal blood. That is why the royal eye runs in your line. 'Tis a gift you've inherited. Garaha, you have been granted authority over the Crystal Tower. I had thought time would consume all that Alec was. That a man should still live with his forebear's blood in this age can be no coincidence. Some person must have planted this gift in your line and used the highest of Allegan technology to do so. True, the Crystal Tower is not like to recognize you as Allegan, but not as you are now, but your royal eye bespeaks a simple truth. Within you dwells one feeble glitter that will illuminate all, the light of hope. But how should I use this light? Pray, tell me. You must gain control of the Crystal Tower. We will share our blood with you, Garaha. Though its effects will be but ephemeral, it will bolster the Allegan presence within you. This is our gift to you, that you may fulfill your destiny. All with the royal eye are bound by fate to Alleg. Our part in this journey is to bury Xande's dark ambitions in the past. This was the true Une and Doga's purpose, one we have carried into the future. Know that as long as this light of hope survives in you, our souls will still remain, even if our bodies are lost. You must leave as well, Nero. I'm sorry we could not live up to your expectations. I must return to you what is yours, though. You dropped it whilst defending us. What you seek by this instrument may not be possible, Nero, but do not give up. There are many other paths that await you. Of course they do. Doga, Une, Thank you. We shall never forget you. Now, Derman, Nero, let us quit this place. You shall not escape me, impudent children of light. No, you shall not escape us. Here Xande's blood-stained dreams of glory end. There! The glint of light! It grows faint. Then the bridge between realms grows fragile by the Covenant's annulment. If that light dies, we're stranded here. Hurry! Nero, no! You must move! Leave me. I don't need you. If I die here, it'll be because I bloody well decided to. I failed to master darkness. I'll not suffer watching a green boy master the tower. Do what you will with it, but remember me, son of Alleg. I am Nero Tolskaiva. Skava? Not sure. The man who will yet outdo Alleg and Garland. That was what you hoped to... May the Crystal Tower again be a beacon of hope for mankind.
Go, damn you! Must move onwards. This is not where I come to rest. But how did... So those damned clones did it after all. Now, onwards! Ah! You owe me, Nero. The hell's I do? Oh, our little science bros. You were returned unharmed. Thank the gods. When that void gate started to close, I'd never felt so powerless in all my life. We were running about like madmen trying to keep the gate open, and then the chief actually went and dived in. But if you're all safe... Where are Une and Doga? They're not... I see. I will miss the two of them dearly, but I'm happy they fulfilled their purpose. We who live on must still attend to the Crystal Tower, though we now have no one able to seal it. That is not true, my friend. Une and Doga have entrusted me with their blood. I can now control the Crystal Tower. Graha! Yes, I can see it in your eyes. Good. Then let us put an end to this and seal away the tower. Happy Biggs dance. I understand your instinct, Rumbrus, but please, give us a moment to rest. I'm weary to the bone, and Nero and Derman are both emerged from long battle. Of course. You have the right of it. Come, we shall leave this place for a spell and return to St. Quinox Find. No one but you could have succeeded in the world of darkness, Derman. Would that I could have been of more use beyond the rift. As it stands, I was but a vessel for Doga and Une's blood. Have I remembered what I wished to? Yes, something has come back to me. Gaining royal blood and witnessing true bravery has reminded me of my forebear's dearest wish. But we need not speak of these things now. It was not my place to keep you. Pray, go on ahead of me. There's something small I would do before I return. Okay. Derman needs a snack. I could not have asked for a better comrade. If only I could have been a part of your adventures for longer, Derman. Alas, fate dictates I have a different role to play. A wish hidden for millennia, and brought to light by the good people of Noah. Now, finally, 'tis my time to see it realized. Okay. Let's head out to St. Quinox Find and meet up with everybody. Here we are. Do love the way this whole place lights up at night. Matches the tower. All right. Everyone back safe?
I'll tell you, that rift started closing up fast. Waiting for you three to pop out was the tensest few moments of my life. No matter how many other clones are still out there, our Une and Doga were special. I'm gonna miss them. Yeah, me too. Nero never would have made it back without you, Derman, and for that you have my thanks. I doubt he'll hatch any more dastardly schemes for the present. He owes me his life, after all. One can hope. Where is he? Did he leave? I bet he left. Nero? Yeah, I think he left. That's fine. I cannot express how glad I am you returned safely, Derman, and with the means to dispel the threat of the Crystal Tower for good. Rest if you will, and then let us free ourselves from the specter of the Alligans. Sounds great. Let's go ahead and do that now. Just wrap this whole Crystal Tower raid story up. With the look of finality upon him, Bruce seems intent upon sealing the Crystal Tower once and for all. I trust you've rested, my friend. Good. I wish to seal the tower now, but there's something we must do first. Let me summon the others and hear in full what happened beyond the rift. So the Allagan eye that runs in Graha's line does mean that royal blood flows in his veins. I suppose it is not so odd to think that his forebears gained it via ancient technology. But who imbued his family with the blood, and for what purpose? Mayhap all this was fate, from discovering the tower to Graha gaining Une and Doga's blood. Has Graha said anything? For that matter, where is Graha? And what of Nero? I'm not sure about our resident historian, but Nero left the tower with me. Where he's vanished to since, I cannot say. But knowing him as I do, I don't imagine he'll scheme against us for the time being. Though he is still Nero. Derman, you say Graha stayed behind at the Crystal Tower. I wonder if he even now prepares to seal the place off. Master Rambrus! Master Rambrus! 'Tis Grahatia, sir. He came into the Crystal Tower and began ordering researchers out. What? Why would he do such a thing? I do not know, sir, but he was quite insistent. He all but bodily forced me out of the gates. I suppose it's possible he told one of the others, but I wasted no time in finding out. I thought it best to hasten here and ask your guidance. Very well. Let's go and speak with these researchers and get to the bottom of this queer business. Master Garland, Derman, please come with me. No doubt Graha means to seal off the Crystal Tower, but it worries me he did not breathe a word of his plan to us. All right. Let's go check on the cowboy. It is quite a sight, that thing. I really like it. Graha! You still here? What in the world was Grahatia thinking, demanding we leave the tower? No doubt you want to know why. I wish I knew that myself. Of course he would tell me nothing. But he'll be honest with you, sir. I'm certain of it. Go no further, my friends. The doors will close ere long. So you are of a mind to seal the tower, Graha. I know time is of the essence, but all I ask is a hint of your plan. Please, come here so we can discuss this. No. My apologies, but I cannot. Come, man, what is this nonsense? If aught is amiss, surely we can help. Not this time, my friend. Just as Une and Doga fulfilled their destiny, so too must I fulfill mine. My blood has awakened me to this fact. As my father told me, the truth has always lain with Alec. Or rather, 'twas there the wish I must grant was born. You see, not all the world perished in Zandi's calamity. Survivors stood amidst the ruins of Alec, looking to the Crystal Tower, but it was nowhere to be seen. Yet they hoped its spires would again dominate the land, and prayed that the Crystal Tower would be a beacon of hope to people everywhere. Word of this soon reached the only member of Alleg's royalty to outlive the Empire, the Princess Salina. Salina was moved by the people's dearest wish. She used the very best of Alleg's technology to give her blood and memories to he whom she trusted most. That man was my forebearer. For millennia we waited. Alleg's art and ingenuity faded. Our royal blood grew thin. But before the last drop could vanish from the realm, the memory of all this returned to me. And now, I must fulfill the wish of the ancients. The tower will shine forth as a new beacon of hope. Garaha, the Crystal Tower's strength poses too great a threat to Eorzea now. We would need technology as advanced as Alleg's to use it correctly. As things stand, we barely understand the tower's workings. Hell, we may never fully comprehend them. 'Tis as you say, Cid. We could wait for someone, someday, to reach the same heights as Alleg, but by then, we'll have lost the royal blood and the means to control the tower. But what if I do as Amon did, and put the tower into a deep sleep? Wait, you cannot mean that. I am deadly serious, Cid. The tower may only be used once men rival the Allegans in knowledge. I'll slumber within the circus tower until then, to greet those with the means to open the gates. Then I will guide them, and thus will the tower shine forth as the beacon of hope it was meant to be. It is the only way to make the wishes of the ancients come true. The future is where my destiny awaits. But yours lies outside of these doors. Go, create a future where hope reigns, and the tragedies of the past are but memories. No one but you can accomplish such things. Nothing we say will make you change your mind, will it? Onwards to a brighter future. It won't be easy, of course, but that's exactly why we'll do it.
We'll catch up with Alleg, just you wait. We'll cover all that lost ground before you even know it.
Well said, Wedge. It'll only be a few years before we come knocking, Garaha. Then you're in for a rude awakening. You shall be witness to Noah's accomplishments. Pray keep alive our successes and forgive us our failures. And may we meet again, my friend. The 12 keep you till then, Rambruce. I look forward to learning of your exploits. And you, Derman, I know history will remember you. No doubt your heroism will be the star by which I chart my course when I awake. Well, now I must rest. Recalling so much has put me in the mood for sleep. Farewell, my friends. I eagerly await a future born of your courage and the ancients' wish. I like that guy. Well, another job handled. I hope you have all enjoyed the Crystal Tower raid story. The first of a few different little diversions I have in mind for this stretch before Heavensward starts. The Crystal Tower slumbers again, then. 'Tis too quiet for my taste. Goodbye, Sid. I must put all this at my back. Possibility beckons, and I am bound to follow. A new dawn has come for me. And with that, well, I guess we'll probably have another quest to turn in here. Let me go talk to Rambruce real quick. Rambruce! Ready to wrap this up? You've just missed Sid, Durman. There is much that needs his attention if he's to fulfill Garaha's wishes, it seems. But this is not the end of Noah. No matter how lonely St. Quinox Find has become for our friend's departure, we must all walk in different directions now. Remember that we labor for a brighter future, lit by Garaha's beacon. Sealing the Crystal Tower was but the first step. Farewell, my friend. May our paths cross again. I'm certain that they will. But boy, my voice could use the break. Rambruce. I made quite a choice, kicking this series off. You've completed the Crystal Tower quest series. By speaking with Ciela at St. Quinox Find, you can accept a quest that allows you to trade items obtained by repeating crystal... It doesn't matter, it's... items if I wanted to, farm the raid some more, which I don't, though it certainly wouldn't take long, unsynced like that. Anyway, that's it for the Crystal Tower quest. The first, as I said, of three detours I plan to take during our run-up to Heavensward. There's two more, one of which is a raid, and another is which just a, interesting little side path that has some relevance to future things that I think is probably worth doing, but we are done with this for now. Next time when we come back, we are going to get that story moving again. The main story quest scenario, the 2.2 patch stuff. It's going to be good. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little diversion. And I'll see you for the main story quests next time. Goodbye!